Hello, welcome back for part 2 of the Great Wasteland map playthrough. Priority for this part is going to be to throw up both a castle and an ogre fort before the end of the week. So in order to do that, we have to kind of do things in a very specific order. We're going to take Zubin, and we're going to send him... Actually, before we do that, we're going to send Jabarkas a few steps this way, and we're going to take Zubin, take the shortest route possible. We're going to need to get ourselves some of that wood. So let's start off by picking up the chest. We're going to go for the 2,000 gold, and we are going to go straight in. I'm kind of surprised we can go over that rock. I'm not sure what that's about. We're going to go straight in for the wood here. So that's an extra 10 wood. So I think we can potentially go either way. So the castle costs 10 wood, 10 ore, and 5,000 gold. So we need another 600 gold in order to afford that. In order to afford the ogre fort, I think we just need to pay a visit to the warehouse of wood. I think for now... Let's go to the warehouse of wood first. Gets us another 10 wood. We can now afford the ogre fort. And that leaves us 3 wood short of the castle next turn. So in order to get the castle, we're going to go over to the Idol of Fortune. That gives us some morale, which is great because we were kind of facing negative morale before, whereas now the harpies are at least not punishing us quite so much. And Zubin is good, I think, just to carry on. Pick up the ore, and we can get another 2,000 gold this turn. That's great. Lorelei is going to go to the windmill first, I think. It's a bit of a mercury. Bit of gold there, a bit more gold here, and I think that's pretty much all she can do. Might as well visit the Star Axis because it's right there. And I'm going to take her towards the Learning Stone too. Over in the town, we can recruit some ogres potentially, but I don't want to recruit any extra heroes right now, and I think what I'd prefer to do with Yogg, although we could visit the Dwarven Treasury and figure out exactly what the guards are, I'm tempted just to go straight for the Alchemist Lab. No, let's go to the Dwarven Treasury, find out exactly what we're up against for future reference. So it's 50 to 99 dwarves and 20 to 49 battle dwarves. Don't think we'll be going for that, but that does actually stop us from reaching the Alchemist Lab, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm now wondering about going to Tormina for the sake of picking up a few extra ogres, which we could then use for Jabarkas' main force. He does actually have quite a few fairly decent stacks, so I guess it's not hugely urgent. Plus, normal ogres are maybe not that great. They're kind of inferior to... well, they're pretty massively inferior to Ogre Magi, so I'm not really in a rush to do that one. Just go in the turn. And start of the next turn, let's go with Zubin. Pick up our gold. As wow, there's actually a garrison there, consisting of at least 1 Archangel. That doesn't really tell us much. I think we'd have to sacrifice a hero to actually find out more. I'm kind of surprised by that, wasn't expecting to see that. I feel like we should still go for the gold just to scout a little bit more, but yeah, I don't think we're going to get through there anytime soon. Priority right now is for Jabarkas to head to the west, and I think the main plan for Jabarkas is just to go through the subterranean gate, go underground, see what's there, and if we can progress from that point we will, but if we can't, we're just going to come straight back up to the surface. We're going to head to Tormina, and we're going to pick up a spellbook and any other creatures that we can at the start of next week. So let's go for it. This fight could be kind of unpleasant. I might actually redistribute these a little bit. Go for it. I'm hoping they'll run away, which they do. That's great. So we're not going to chase them down. That would just inevitably result in quite a few losses. It's tempting to go for the Thunderbirds, but I don't think we're ready for that. Last time we fought a pack of Greater Basilisks. That was kind of painful too, but I think this time round we're slightly healthier, plus we definitely want to go for the wood. Just checking the order. I think we're good. What I might actually do instead is put the Grand Elves at the bottom, and let's have a go. Okay, so expected to take a couple of losses, including a rock. I'm sure that's not necessary, so we will avoid that. You guys are going to wait, and what we're going to do is we're just going to throw the behemoth forward just to take some hits. First we'll wait and see if we can get them to move first. They have 7 speed, we have 6 speed, so they probably won't. Okay. Fire our first shot, we do get a kill. We can at least stop them from reaching us this turn. Unfortunately, because of the way this is set up, it could be kind of hard to distract both stacks at once. I think I'll just go here for now. Let's come forward slightly. We're going to have a harder time distracting these, so I'm going to weaken them first. As wow, okay, none of them are going for the behemoths at all. Okay, you guys wait. They come forward. I'm not sure how I feel about that one, but we can get a full powered shot off on these. Maybe not done this quite right. Never mind. These guys have 40 health left, so we're just going to defend with these. You guys are going to attack. And Behemoth can finish them off. Okay, so it wasn't perfect, but those losses are pretty acceptable, I think. I will go for basic air magic. That's a pretty good skill to have on a barbarian hero. Quite a few of these creatures will benefit quite a lot from haste, so let's go for that. We can now pick up the wood. I'm probably going to ignore the Shrine of Magic Thought until we get a slightly stronger hero. We will go into the town. We can actually build the Cyclops Cave. I think they must have dropped the price of that in Horn of the Abyss, because I seem to recall that being more expensive in terms of crystal at least. So that presents a dilemma. So if we go for the castle, we can get an extra behemoth next week. On the other hand, if we go for the Cyclops Cave, we get an extra, I think, 3 Cyclopses, or possibly more than that. So we get 2 at the start of the week, and then, well, we get 2 today and then 3 at the start of the week, compared to 1 extra behemoth. That's a really tough choice. I wasn't actually expecting to have that dilemma. Not really sure what to do about that. I'm going to go for advanced scouting on Lorelei. I'm going to send this guy. Over to here so we can pick up some wood immediately at the start of next week. Yogg we're just going to send to the windmill, and then over to the alchemist lab. And I think somebody needs to go back to the town. I think we'll do that with Lorelei. We will take Yogg, and we're going to send him over towards Jabarkas, just to pick up anything Jabarkas leaves lying around. And then Jabarkas we're just going to send... I could go for the campfire, that will give us a bit of extra wood. I could also pick up the gold, just for the sake of getting things moving at the start of next week. I want to get the Cyclops Cave. I didn't think I'd do that, but I think having 5 Cyclops at the start of next week could be pretty strong. And while we're at it, I think we'll pick up 1. Doesn't actually get us wood, gets us sulfur instead, that's fine. We're just going to go straight underground now, avoid wasting the movement points, as we immediately encounter a pack of demons. That should be pretty much fine. I don't think we even need to fight them. Let's pick up the treasure chest, and looks like we do have to fight them potentially. I'll go for the gems just to see if we don't. They're guarding the Fountain of Youth, which is probably still worth going for, so I might just do that. But I think for the most part we're good just to end the turn. We can potentially recruit another hero, but definitely no point doing that right now. We'll wait until the start of next week. Let's end the turn. And as of week 2, still no sign of any opponents. Week of the Champion, that's not really going to help us too much, or in fact at all. I can upgrade the Cyclops Cave immediately, but I don't really see the benefit of doing that right now. Main upgrade of Cyclops Kings is just the ability to attack towns, or to besiege walls I should say, which is not massively impactful. I could potentially upgrade the Goblin Barracks instead, bring across some better creatures. I think before we decide, we'll take Zubin, we'll pick up some more wood, and we're just going to go and pick up a few extra creatures. And another thing I could do with Lorelei is I could actually recruit a few units and just send them to attack the lizard men, so that we can get the sawmill ASAP. Dessa is a really good hero, as is Pyre in fact. Both come with logistics. Dessa's the logistics specialist, which is always powerful, but we're not planning to use him, or her. It's definitely a him, he's got a beard. We're not planning to use him as a main hero. And Pyre comes with the ballista, which is also pretty tempting. I don't think we have a ballista yet. It's been a little while since I recorded the first part. Yeah, no ballista. That's kind of tempting. What I could potentially do is park her in there for now. We'll recruit. Both are fairly tempting. I think we'll go with Dessa for now. And we're going to recruit the Behemoth. And let's see exactly what we're up against. So we're up against potentially demons, potentially lizardmen. I think those will run away, so I'm not worried about that. Several war unicorns I don't quite think we're ready for. Potentially with the Cyclopes. Let's see what we can do with Yogg. So Yogg can just about make it to the gold. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. Okay. Yogg was supposed to chain some units. Done that in the wrong order. Okay, that's fine. So Cyclops cost how much exactly? 750 each. So if we wanted to recruit all of them, that would cost 3,750. I think we'll start with the rocks instead. And we're just going to send Dessa. Over to these. Hopefully they'll run away, but no, they want to fight. We are expected to take a few losses. I shouldn't really have brought the Wolf Riders in hindsight. I've only got Stone Skin to work with. I might go for that. Just because we're going to have to take a few shots at the start here. If I throw a rock forward, I'm not sure it's got quite enough health to survive shots from all three of these. Okay, so these guys might just be the sacrificial lambs. I can of course throw the Behemoth forward, he should be completely fine. As they actually go for the Orcs instead, so I'm not sure what happened with the AI before. Possibly they just ran straight forward with the Wolf Riders. I'm going to put these guys to defend. We will unfortunately lose a few of them. Shouldn't really have brought them along, but never mind. Let's send all these forward. Okay, these guys get morale, that's great. It's only... No, all three of them have gone. Okay, so I guess we do want to gang up on the most popular stack. Throw these forward too. And now we can pretty much just gang up on them. Okay, so health-wise, these guys are 52 each. This should be pretty healthy. Yeah. Definitely no need to take any losses here, but never mind. We're going to be a couple of Orcs down. Behemoth should be able to handle pretty much everything on his own, especially with a bit of extra morale. They're going to try and gang up on him, which is a questionable idea. There we go. Okay, so lost a couple of Orcs, but that's fine, it happens. I think we just about have enough movement to go for the Sawmill. If not, we should actually be okay, because we may just be able to pick up enough gold to recruit Pyre. Let's have a look. So if Dessa goes... This should be fine, actually. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put Lorelei back in there, we're going to recruit... First we need to actually pick up some gold. We're going to recruit Pyre once we have enough gold, which we do now. If anything, I think actually Jabarkas should just sacrifice a few movement points here. Just 5,800 gold, which is more than enough to recruit quite a few things. I could go for the Cyclops as a priority instead of going straight for Pyre. Alternatively, I could just recruit Pyre, and then make sure that I only spend what I can afford. Potentially miss out on one Cyclops, which is okay. We can always chain it next turn, and just send her immediately towards Jabarkas. Let's take the decent stacks from here. In fact, let's just take everything. Leave Jabarkas with a single goblin, and pass all of this stuff over to Pyre. Leave the imps behind because we don't need those at all. And we're going to send her over in this direction. Lorelei, I think, is going to be good just to go and pick up a few extra resources. As that was slightly messy, but fine, we got it done. Didn't actually leave enough in the bank to buy a new building this turn. If there is anything we can do to remedy that, that'd be great. It's possible we have just enough movement points to make it to the campfire. It's worth doing because I think we should definitely build a marketplace this turn. I'm fairly happy just to accept that. As yeah, we can actually reach either the treasure chest or the campfire this turn. If we make it to the tavern, we can of course recruit heroes from there. I'm not sure if we really need to. I can go to the Fountain of Youth, so we'll do that for a bit of extra morale, plus we can travel further. Pick up the gold from here, and we can push on slightly further if we want to. I'm not seeing anything massively impressive to the south. There's a scholar guarded by some monks and some zealots. I'm not sure exactly what it teaches. It must be something pretty decent if they've specifically guarded it. It is of course a map built by humans, unlike the previous maps I've played, which have all been random maps. So it's possible they've deliberately given the scholar some really awesome skill. Even so, I think better off just spending these movement points. So let's go bit by bit, see what we can discover. So there's a Griffin Conservatory guarded by a pack of energy elementals. I feel like we could beat them. That would at least unlock the scholar, but we're obviously not ready to take on the Griffin Conservatory just yet. Can push on. There's a pack of Grand Elves there if we want to see if we can recruit them, which I highly doubt will work. Still, it's an option. Let's build the marketplace and end the turn. Okay, start the new turn. We're going to I think we'll begin picking up any stragglers we left behind. So let's get the Cyclops, let's get the Orcs, and I'm fairly content just to leave the Ogres and the rest behind for now. So let's sell off some of this ore, get the final Orc, and can Dessa go far enough this turn, or should we turn to Lorelei? I think he should actually be okay, especially if we use Zubin. Let's go like this for now. Let's send Dessa over to deliver the last few units. Pyre can actually pick up a few things herself, or she can just go on. I think it is worth picking up a few things. I could potentially take on the pack of Thunderbirds just with Pyre, but I think that would definitely result in quite a few losses, so I think we'll avoid doing that for now. We'll investigate this, gets us the shield spell, and we can then let's try going here for now. We've still got a couple of movement points, so let's move Yogg slightly, talk to him with Pyre, send across all the units along with the Ballista. And we are going to take Yog, go underground, and we can actually make it to Jabarkas this turn. We potentially could go further because we can of course go to the Fountain of Youth. Can pick up some crystal on the way if we want to. And I'm just going to hand over pretty much all the units. Do potentially have to sacrifice a stack here in order to move across the Cyclopes. Obviously the Harpies are not great, and of course there's some morale problems in the past, so let's get rid of them. Pass over the Ballista, and Ballista's actually really quite good with Barbarians in general, not just Jabarkas, because of the high attack stats, but I'm not really planning to go for artillery here, so it's still better than nothing, I think. It's not like one of those factions that has to deal with negative consequences for having the Ballista, like for example the Fortress Town with the Basilisks, or the Dungeon Town with Medusas. Sometimes the Ballista will actually shoot at creatures that are turned to stone, and that can be really annoying because it just rouses them, or de-petrifies them, is that a word? I'm not sure. We should be pretty safe just to go in for this fight. They actually don't want to fight us. I think we should be pretty safe just to go for this. And I don't think we need to lose the goblins. So those guys have come forward straight away. They're 8 speed. That's kind of annoying. We, of course, can't cast any spells just yet. Let's wait with these for a moment, just to see if the other stack comes forward. They can't get morale. That's always good to know. You can use these to block off the orcs. And I'm pretty tempted just to throw these guys forward. Let's do it. These guys might actually be able to get off a full powered shot. Although I think the energy elementals, yeah, won't get a chance to move before we get our next chance, so because these guys are about to attack the behemoths, we're going to weaken them. And because these guys can get a full powered shot on this particular stack, we're going to go for that. And then these guys I think are just going to defend. They're actually in range. So we're going to go protect the Grand Elves. These guys are going to weaken these. Actually took them out, okay. That was actually pretty easy, in fact incredibly easy, easier than expected. We can now visit the Scholar, gives us +1 knowledge, I guess that was mostly worth it. And we can keep exploring too. Pack of Grand Elves I'm hoping will just run away. Also a gold mine there, that's definitely very tempting. Over in the town we can now afford the first level of the Mages Guild, which I think we should go for. That's going to give us the slow spell and the haste spell, so definitely worth coming back here with Jabarkas as soon as we can. As for Jabarkas himself, a trading post is noteworthy. We do have quite a bit of ore along with gems that we can spare. And everything to the east we can just go for with Yog anyway, so I think, yeah, we will go and chase these off, as actually they want to join us too. So up to 32 Grand Elves now. Even a pack of Mighty Gorgons I'm pretty sure we can just fight off. A pack of Power Liches, probably we shouldn't go for that just yet. We will pick up the Legs of Legion, probably with another hero though. And I think this guy should focus just on fighting, so if we take on the pack of Mighty Gorgons, I'm sure that does give us something decent, but we can't really see what it actually opens up just yet. A pack of Lizardmen will just run away, so that's fine. I think we have to just kind of move slightly, just to see exactly what's on offer. So, quite a few resources lying around. I think we'll just start by moving the rest of our heroes for now. And I think that could actually be slightly more dangerous than it looks, of course, because Mighty Gorgons could potentially kill off our behemoths immediately with their Death Gaze. 32 Grand Elves will be strong, but I'm still not sure I'd want to go for that. So I think we'll skip it. Most of these stacks are kind of not ideal for fighting with Grand Elves. Particularly if we're using the behemoths to sponge hits. I think we will go to the trading post straight away just to get it out of the way. And we're going to... I think we can go for that. Still got 15 left. And we can potentially go for crystal instead. I think gold is going to be more useful. We do have the gem pond, so we can pretty much afford to get rid of all of our gems. I wouldn't go that far, but I think we can afford to get rid of about 50, maybe 53. And that gives us quite a lot of money to splash. I can potentially go for some more money from the treasure chest. I think I could certainly be tempted just to try and power through the power liches for the sake of extra gold every turn. On the other hand, this seems like a pretty rich map. I don't know if we need to do that. I think for now, I am just going to keep exploring. As we can go to the Garden of Revelation. There's actually another gold mine there, and we can see that the Mighty Gorgons are guarding the Equestrian's gloves, which is definitely an artifact we want to have. But I don't really want to take that fight right now. Lorelei doesn't really have too much to be getting on with. Over in the town, there's not really too much to be recruiting either. So I think, realistically, we do just want to throw all of our heroes into picking up various resources. So let's move them all towards the underground. And I could send her back just to pick up some wood, because there's no one actually in the starting area right now. And I think I will actually do that. I don't think we need to throw literally all our heroes to the underground. I'm not really sure when we're going to go back with Jabarkas, because right now there's quite a lot for him to be doing over here. There's no sign of the opponents. Worth checking in on that, by the way. We can actually see that they have 2 Rampart players and an Acropolis player led by Septiena. So that should be interesting. Obviously always a risk with randomized opponents that you can end up fighting the same type of opponent twice, but there you go. We just come off the back of fighting 7 castle players at once, so I think that's okay. Dessa, or in fact Jabarkas, they look really similar. They literally look like just a mirror image of each other. Except Jabarkas has... Jabarkas has a slightly more impressive beard. I think that's the main difference between the two. We can go to the tavern to pick up another hero if we want to, for even more exploring. I'm not sure if we need to. I would like to go south. But first, I would like to find out exactly what the War Unicorns are guarding. So let's send Pyre underground. And either way, we have to fight off the lizard men, so I think we just need to accept that, scare them off. Oh, they want to join us too, okay. 19 of those. Damn, I don't want to say no, but on the one hand that will drop our morale. On the second hand, we're not going to keep them in the long term, whereas goblins and wolves we might. I'm kind of surprised this many creatures want to join us, to be honest. I think we might have to let these guys go. Even though they'd be pretty helpful. Potentially more helpful right now than the Wolf Riders, I think we just have to accept that we don't have space for them. And Pyre should now be free. Just to explore a little bit more. As looks like there's an artifact there, I'm not sure exactly which artifact that is. Red Dragon Flame Tongue, I can't remember exactly what that does. I think it's just a stat boost. We could definitely go for it. several war unicorns I'm pretty sure we can beat. On the other hand, going for a gold mine nice and early would be good. I think we do want to move towards the city hall and the capital as soon as possible. We've already got about as much creature growth as we can get. I want to get the castle by day 7 definitely, but there's no real rush to do that right now. So I think for now we're just going to go with the blacksmith, work towards the city hall. We're going to take Zubin, send him underground. First we're going to use up the rest of Pyre's movement points. And I think Yog is definitely going to go to the east. Pick up the gold and gems, and there does seem to be quite a lot just lying around. Den of Thieves could be interesting, but not really worth going massively out of our way for. Is that a... Oh, it's a cliff nest. I thought that might be a behemoth crag. Quite a few of the Stronghold dwellings look pretty similar. So a cliff nest would be nice. I don't know if I care that much, as this does look like a bit of a dead end, surprisingly. I think I'm not that bothered about any of this stuff, so I'm just going to go to the south. And we are going to fight a pack of gold golems. That should be pretty doable. They don't want to fight us, we'll do it just for the experience, not expect to take any losses. We're going to pass on fire magic, and we're just going to... Again, we face the liches potentially. Could upgrade some creatures. Don't know if I care that much. Maybe they'll run away. Okay, great, that's perfect. So we don't want to fight those, we just want to go straight into the hill fort. We do have to pay to upgrade everything. I'm not sure if that's a good deal or not. I don't think it's terrible. Thunderbirds are quite a lot better than rocks just because of their ability in particular. And they're also quite a bit faster, I think. Upgrading orcs would also be nice just because it is our specialty. I think we might as well just go for it. So that's quite a bit of money gone, but got a slightly better force now that we can use. Pack of Dendro guards, going to be protecting the water wheel. We should have gone straight for the gold mine in hindsight, so let's make a move on that. As I think Pyre can probably do that next turn. And the rest of our heroes are a little bit surplus to requirement right now. Could pick up some more wolves, take them back to the town. That seems like the kind of thing Lorelei could do though. Certainly before the end of the week. So I think we go for the orcs with Dessa. Okay, so let's actually think about this. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes down here. It's fairly closed off. I think it actually doesn't go anywhere. It's just a kind of bit of a bonus area, I guess. We can potentially just completely clear it out right now with Jabarkas. So I don't know if we really need that many heroes. I think I am going to send Dessa to pick up the orcs. Zubin, let's head towards our main hero. And I think we'll just end the turn there. Not expecting to see our opponents for some time. I'm pretty sure we'll have to go through the actual wasteland itself in order to find them. Yog. Gonna pick this up, and I think that's about as far as we can go. See if we can do a little bit more scouting. It's just the cliff nest. Can't see too much else there. There is a kind of like bright green thing just behind the cliff nest, but that is just a tree, a very bright looking tree. So nothing to get too excited about. I would like to come over here with Jabarkas. It's a little bit of a detour, but still pretty tempting. As let's think. Empire actually get far enough. I've actually missed out on the Garden of Revelation as well. I could come back that way though. And I probably would. Now that I'm slightly stronger, I'm maybe slightly more capable of taking out the mighty Gorgons. What the hell? That was a misclick. Okay, never mind. On we go. Alright, let's Empire to pick up the gold. Lorelei. Go for the Wolf Riders. Over in the town, we're going to build the City Hall. Des is going to pick up the Orcs. Might as well visit this just to move slightly further. Go back towards town. And the rest of our heroes are just going to go and pick up some resources. I think York's pretty much done. So let's send him to pick up the Legs of Legion, and we'll end the turn. Okay, Jabarkas has completely wasted a turn's worth of movement points there, but never mind. Let's take on the Dendro Guards. That should be pretty easy. I'm pretty happy just to chase them down. Expected to take losses, but again, I don't think there's any need. I think that's just the auto-resolve. Throwing forward the Wolf Riders unnecessarily. These guys are ridiculously slow, so there's no way they're going to get across the map. Don't need to worry about them at all. They can get morale, but it's still not going to be enough. Okay, that was easy. I think, given how easy that was, we can easily take on the War Unicorns as well. They're a little bit faster, they're a little bit scarier, but let's do it, as that actually does lead to a portal which will presumably take us to another opponent. These guys are pretty fast, so it's a little bit scary. I think for now we wait. Hope they don't get morale, because that'll screw us over if they do, but they don't. We're going to send these guys... I think we do need to protect the Grand Elves. So we're just going to drop some units in front of these. This should work. And we're going to try and weaken them as much as we can while we have the chance. So I think they're pretty fast. So they're 9 speed. So this is going to be our last chance to actually take a few out. Going to get 1 kill, and I think we can kind of choose between whether we let them attack the Hobgoblins or the Wolf Raiders. I think I'm fairly happy for them to go and attack the Wolf Raiders. So actually, because we did wait, we do get another turn straight away, so that's fine. We take them out. We can now get basic wisdom, that's great. I would like to go back above ground to pick up Armourer. But I don't think we need to right now. We are just going to keep pushing. Pick up the Armour of Wonder, which gives us +1 in each skill. And get a bit of extra experience. And next turn we're going to go through the two-way portal, see what we find on the other side. Most likely does actually take us to an opponent. A little bit sooner than expected, but that's fine. Yog is going to pass over Boots of Legion. And I think with Zubin we're just going to rush him back. Put that in the town before the end of the week. Pyre is going to keep picking up resources. And Yog likewise. Des has not really got much to be doing at this point, but that's fine. Let's go back into town, make sure that Lorelei has lots of movement points, and I'm just going to put Dessa somewhere vaguely in the middle in case we decide to chain. We can now afford the castle, which is necessary for the capital. There's no rush at all to get the upgraded Behemoth Crag. We can do that whenever we like. We're still going to get the growth regardless. So I think we most likely want to go castle, capital, and then maybe the mess hall, because it will be day 7 at that point. Let's go for the castle for now. And let's end the turn there. Not expecting to see one of these guys pop up. Wonder if we can find out a little bit more about them. They only have the one town, so we're not going to find out too much. We do have the most heroes, that's not at all surprising. No one else has a second town yet, that's good to know. I think Jabarkas should be pretty safe just to jump through here. We'll see what we can find. So it actually takes us just to the south. I'm not seeing any sign of any opponents just yet, but there's quite a few things up for grabs here. Pretty much 3 too. Let's pick this up. So that gives us an extra +4 knowledge, so once we do actually go back home and pick up some kind of spell book, we will actually be able to make good use of our magic skills, but for now, there's just too much of an incentive to keep exploring. I think we will send Yogg straight through just to do a bit of scouting. So I might have actually blocked off Jabarkas there. Okay, so there's another garrison. So I'm guessing these are what lead to the opponents. This in particular is going to involve a fight against ghost dragons. Don't know how many, probably too many for us to take on right now. Could sacrifice a hero just to look, we do have quite a bit of gold. We're getting 4k per turn. Yogg is carrying some Harpies and some Hellhounds. I'm not that bothered about saving those, I might just throw them in. Also got the Den of Thieves here, which we can check out next turn. We definitely want to pick up a bit of extra spell power while we're here, and leave Jabarkas there for now. And I think the rest of our heroes there's not too much to do, because we don't have any creatures available in the town. We're not really able to go to the crypt or anything like that right now. I'm sure there's something we can do. So Zubin's carrying the Legs of Legion, or the Feet of Legion? Legs of Legion, okay. I will probably forget that immediately. So we're going to pass it over to Lorelei, leave her in the town, and is there anything else we can visit before the end of the week that's going to help us? I don't think so. We will go and pick this up in case we get estates, but we don't. Advanced logistics is still going to be pretty helpful. And I think we will end the turn as soon as Pyre's moved. Don't think anyone's going to be breaking through anytime soon, as we can now do a little bit more exploring. Pick up the gold, pick up all the resources we can. I could take on the Black Tower. I think it does involve fighting a gold dragon. The gold dragon will go first, and we'll get some damage done. It might still be worth it. I'm going to visit this first, so we can see exactly what's going on. So, red player's looking kind of scary. He's got pretty good stats. Green player's got decent stats too. Actually, they all do. So they're all progressing. In terms of strength, we are considered the strongest. Not the highest income, but that's fine. Okay, that's more or less what I expected. We're actually the first to have level 7 creatures too, so that's good. I think it's probably going to be worth just going for this. We even try and get Yogg to do it, but he doesn't really have enough movement points. I think we're just going to go for this. We will take a few losses. Hopefully not a Thunderbird. Okay, so they are going to go straight for the Hobgoblins. I think that's okay. So we're not going to go and attack straight away, because that's probably where the loss comes from. Are you guys low enough to sacrifice? I don't think so. I think we're gonna have to use the behemoth instead. Okay, don't even need to use the behemoth. That's gotta be worth it. Guess it's an extra level, and we get the ribcage and 3,500 gold. Ribcage not too useful, but worth having the gold, I guess. Still, I think it's time to turn back. We're going to come up to this area once again. We're going to go, I think, for the cliff nest, and then we're going to return back to the base. By the time we get back to the base, we should have a pretty decent stock of various creatures, including potentially the option to go up to Ancient Behemoth. With it being day 7, I think now is the perfect time to get the mess hall, even though it's a bit crap. I feel like we might as well still do it. And we're going to have a really good stock of creatures as of next turn, so once Jabarkas does make it back, we should be good to potentially push into the Great Wasteland itself. I'm pretty sure we can take on a pack of Bone Dragons completely fine. Realistically, we could probably also take on all of this stuff, but I'd have to sacrifice Yogg to find out if that's worth it. So I don't think I will. But I think we've done enough for this part, so thanks for watching guys. Next time we will be either clearing out this area or moving into the Great Wasteland itself, probably both. And it should be interesting to see what actually awaits here. Cannon Yard would be good. I imagine there's quite a bit here worth visiting, so it should be interesting. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, I'll see you next time.